Hey, have you guys ever had sex?
Dude, I was thinking about it. I was like, this movie makes it look fucking rad.
Dude, I never even thought about it. Like, how would you even I'm sure there's books and stuff, but like how would you even do it? But
There's an old Italian guy that speaks with an Arabic accent at this used bookstore that can show you
I thought
how
he
to
was
have
supposed to be
sex.
how to have sex. He's got a
Indian.
book about it. Indian accent, yeah.
This movie would have been more believable if she like seduced him and then to get to the thigh, did a standing 69,
hmm
and then that's how she got to his thigh. And then he drops her on her head because she bites him. He's like, "Wow, what the crud?"
That's my favorite position. Stand up 69, me upside down.
hmm Your wife holding you.
hmm She's about a foot shorter than me too.
She's at least a foot shorter than you. Your head's
So you're
just
in a
crooked on the
you're in a
ground.
hole. You're in a hole.
Yeah.
Foot,
Yeah.
right? Arms are in a hole. Yeah. So today's movie, Once Bitten, 1985. This is basically the first Jim Carrey movie. He was in a thing called Rubber Face, which I never
Rubber
saw, but it looks dumb as hell. It's like 40 minutes long. So I don't really consider
I
that a
think
movie,
I
but
think Rubberface was maybe a television pilot too, that after he got famous they repackaged as a movie.
yeah, it was that Blockbuster and shit. Like it's like the Going Overboard, where you
Yeah.
go after Adam Sandler's famous, they're like, look at this really shitty movie he made.
That
But
I don't even know. Was that a pilot too?
no, it's just a low budget, shitty movie.
It is crazy
Um,
though that you know, I mean, there had to. I mean, maybe it's not that long. Just being a little kid, but to me, I watched this movie a lot when I was a little kid. Like I remember renting it
yes.
and
I'm
loving
surprised
it.
I never seen it. I honestly enjoyed it
Yeah,
watching it today.
it's very. I mean, it's so 80s. But I watched it a lot, and I think it came on. It came on TV. I think it came on cable. It was on cable all the time,
Yes,
and
I
then it was
definitely
on
watched it.
TV.
I watched it a lot, and then when I watched In Living Color, I didn't even recognize Jim Carrey. I didn't even put two and two together. I didn't realize this was Jim Carrey until it started being rerun again after Ace Ventura.
Yeah,
And then I would see it on cable again and be like, "Oh, this is Jim Carrey." But I used to watch this movie when I was 5 years old, and this is a movie about a teenager trying to lose his virginity. And the 80s was just the era of like the sex comedy, and the sex
yeah.
comedy, like Porky's, I guess Animal House is like the first real one, but they just made so many of these movies, Revenge of the Nerds, and like
People are just trying to get laid. These high school kids are just trying to get laid. It's the most relatable thing in the world. Farts and trying to get laid in high school.
We'll
boobies. You got to
say,
have your boobies in the movie, and then it's like they were just flooded into video stores
yeah,
because in the 80s, videotapes were like the studios were slow to get into videotapes. So these low budget, shitty movies were actually more plentiful than real legit movies. Like these movies, these
The
shitty low
turnaround
budget,
was worth it.
the turnaround was faster. They would make the prices cheaper. So more mom and pop video stores would carry them. And it wasn't really until like the 90s with Blockbuster that when they ran all the mom and pop stores into the ground, did the studios really kind of figure out the market and like how to make money, off renting tapes. But
and
Yeah.
this this feels like, yeah. I don't know. Like, what was this rated? Because there wasn't any.
PG-13.
PG
Yeah,
13. I was like, there's hardly any even violence.
Well, they say the
yeah,
F word
The
once.
sexual
yeah.
when? I don't even
And they're,
remember that.
and even like
Sexual
they never
things.
kill anybody actually too,
There's
right?
no nudity.
No nudity, but
Yeah,
goddamn,
there is. Yeah, on the painting. You see the
I
painting
guess
of her
so. Yeah, the
boobie.
painting.
And it's like that scene
I
where she brings him over and he's rubbing on the paint. She catches him like rubbing on the nipple of the painting. It's like, bro, chill. You're gonna be touching the real thing, presumably touching the real thing in like 2 seconds.
man, I was when I was a kid watching this, and I was probably like 12 or so, 10, 12. This I was so horny for this movie. This movie, I mean, this was like very much like me, like kind of barely starting
Yes.
puberty, and it just Lauren Hutton and actually Jim Carrey's girlfriend too.
Yeah,
I don't
who is
know what else she did.
who's the Countess?
Lauren
His-
Hutton, she was pretty famous, but I remember like it's so funny. Like I remember thinking that she was like she was old
Yes.
looking, and now she's probably a decade younger than me. But like,
she's in she's in American Gigolo. That's like her big
yeah,
movie.
We watched that, I
Um,
think, once.
She's the
Oh,
older babe.
I did want to ask before, because we got Mike here. Cassandra's coming in, right?
Yeah.
Cassandra from Cassandra Explains It All. But we got Mike here, and you said you watched this growing up as a kid, right?
yeah.
Was this, because you're in a band called Dracula's, was this the main like inspiration for your vampire band?
Well, Jim Carrey, just in general.
And have you thought about changing your band name to Dracula's and the Rubber Faces
I was going to change my name to the Ace Venturas.
and doing some wacky faces on stage?
Well, I was going to sing with my butt.
Oh yeah.
And then you
Jim
just
Carrey style.
and you play the guitar on your leg.
As I actually remembered that this was when Jim Carrey was on In Living Color. Like, oh, that was the Once Bitten guy. But it was surprising because in this character, he plays such like, he just plays like it's the role that it's the lead in every teenage sex comedy for the most part.
It was weird seeing him play so straight. Like,
Yeah, he's so
not-
straight.
he gets goofy towards the end. Like
Yeah.
once he gets bitten, once bitten, he becomes a little goofier.
He
Doing a little
definitely
damn cheeky.
he definitely gets to show off some of those dance moves, which is like there's so many like little there's well I let me even just go like I said I watched this a lot like when I was like 10 or 12, and then I probably haven't seen it and definitely haven't watched the whole thing in a solid 20 years, easy 20. And so I like watching this, it really flooded me back with a lot of like really, I don't know. I remember, oh man, I love this movie so much. Like I remembered so many lines from it, and it really hit a bunch of nostalgia. And also like, I mean, I always say about growing up in Texas and LA in general now, how much like
everything's bigger.
I say everything's bigger. I say don't mess with my home state. I told you that, Ryan. One time I saw you later. Remember?
We got very.
It got heated.
Yeah, this was
heated.
a actual verbal fight on the
Yeah.
street.
I wore out the neck of your T-shirt. I completely.
And he said, "Don't tread on me.
Ruined it.
Do not
I said,
tread on
don't
me."
mess with Texas. Don't tread on me.
And then I said, "Everything's bigger in Texas, right?" And you go, "Damn straight." And I go,
Damn
"Even
straight." Then I
even the
kissed you.
stupidity, even the cowardice, Lee." And then
Hey,
go,
calm
you,
down,
and then
Bill
we
Maher.
said the stupidity thing, and then I got real mad all over again. And it went
he was shooting
it
he
went-
was shooting his pistol up.
It went back to back for a while. But there's a thing that I always say about going to
Hollywood.
LA and how much I I really do love going to Los Angeles, and I like hanging out in Los Angeles, and a lot of it's because like I spent so much time with my parent being the television and being like rental store movies, and everything was shot out there, and I was like, I forgot how like I would say like every time I'm in LA running around, everything feels like I feel like I've seen everything before, because everything is some exterior or some like like street shot or whatever, and everything there's like a unconscious nostalgia. And so going through this, I'm like, oh my god, like yeah, like wackos, like this, like I remember,
Yes, they show a montage of them in LA, and they show all these neon signs, and one of them is Wacko, which
Yeah.
is like a cool hip bookstore in East LA. And it's very surprising to see that show up in the montage,
yeah,
because it's like a very specific store, like
yeah,
that
must have been
people actually go
to somebody
Yes.
filming it or something.
or just the idea of like, look they went to Hollywood where everything's crazy, and they're gonna have crazy.
This was like no way this was what Hollywood. It was a cartoon version of
Well,
Hollywood in the 80s. There's a lady with
so-
a goddamn lion on a leash
on a
walking
chain
around.
and a leash. So this is
That's
in the
illegal.
movie Valley Girl, the Nicolas Cage movie, like that came out a few years before. And that movie has a very similar scene where the girls from the Valley go to hang out with Nicolas Cage in Hollywood. But like in the 80s, Hollywood Boulevard was cool and like edgy, and like that was like the place to go in LA. But in all the time I've lived in LA, it seems like no one goes to Hollywood Boulevard. Like that's tourist crap. It's like
Yeah, I would go to
it's like
the Rainbow Club. What's it called?
Rainbow Room.
the Rainbow Room.
Rainbow Room. Yeah, that's about it. That's right on Hollywood, right? Or is
Yeah,
that
but
Sunset?
it's a very, I mean, Hollywood and Sunset are basically the same street. But like
Yeah.
it's just that strip, you know, that like, ooh, Chinese movie theater and this and that. But like in the 80s, it was actually cool. Like the Viper Room was actually cool.
I did see a very cool show with our buddy Doug Mallard at the Viper Room, the Super Suckers.
They're gonna
That shit
tear it
was
down.
dope. And then we went. They are.
Yeah, they're gonna
Damn,
tear
it's
down
like,
that whole
it's like
block.
another. It's like another River Phoenix all over again.
I played a show one time, probably 10, 12 years ago at the Viper Room, and like between songs, I was like, because there was a stage that had a door right that would just kind of like right by the stage, it would go directly outside, and I just said something like, you know, like, we're from Texas, and I'm gonna go outside and find a famous person. I jumped off stage and opened up the door, and like completely randomly, the dude that plays I forget his name right now, the guy that plays Ashy Larry on the Chappelle Show.
No
was
way. He was
like
just
walking
Donnell
up,
Rawlings.
and
Yeah.
Donnell Rawlings, and he came in and like got on the mic and goes, "I'm Rich Biatch." It was fucking.
He did his. No
It
way.
was fucking.
That's
I
sick.
swear to God, it was.
Dude,
It was like.
yo,
I don't know.
Mike,
It was fucking crazy, but
yo,
again, like I just every
Dude.
like the Magic Cat. Like I went to the Magic Castle for the
hold
first
on,
time
dude.
a
Dude,
couple years ago, and they
only
stopped
in LA, man.
Yeah,
Only
yeah,
in
it was
LA.
only in LA,
Only in
baby.
LA, dude.
That's what I
Dude.
say
I've seen
about-
him. I've seen him in a
That's
bar.
what I would say when I lived out there and I'd be stuck in traffic with somebody in the car, and I'd be like, "Come on," and I'd hit the horn a little bit and I'd look at him and I go, "Only in LA, right?" And I would do that 7 times before we got to our destination. So I didn't have a lot of friends out there, but
Yeah, or here,
where
here.
everything's bigger in Texas.
All right,
Except the
listen,
friendship.
don't start up with that again, okay?
Well,
Like
let's talk
we
about the
watched
movie.
that
I mean,
beef,
I'm
and I
sure-
don't want this to come out on this podcast.
Let's, yeah, this the real beef.
I don't want to restart our
Oh, let's
feud.
talk about beef. He just wanted to eat that.
Is this the
raw-ass
Nebraska versus Texas shit?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's Nebraska.
I am.
Got his
I
ass.
got husky.
So that, like,
I got
remember
Husky
in
blood.
Fast Times, he Judge Reinhold works at like the pirate ship fast food restaurant. And I feel like these guys,
fish and chips
the-
joint.
his two buddies in this movie work at like a clown themed
Yeah.
restaurant, or they wear like clown shirts. And then
Yeah, Jack
Jim
in the
Carrey
Box.
drives an ice cream truck, but you never really see him do shit with the ice cream except give it to
Yeah.
you know.
When he hisses,
girl-
when he hisses
the
at those
girl.
two kids.
Yeah, and he hisses at those two kids, but like, you know,
And
they don't have
is
any
he-
real payoff with any of this shit. They set up a lot of shit in this movie, and they don't really pay anything off.
Yeah.
No, at the end, the two dummies, the two clown burger
His two
place.
horny buddies who are also
Finally
virgins,
hook
I
up-
guess.
Yes, so that she could have just grabbed one of them. There's a lot of
Yeah.
plot holes.
This movie is generic. That's the other thing. So,
Well,
it's-
those guys could
it
have
ca-
turned into vampire. There was no cut scene at the end where it's like,
Like they
he went on to be a CEO of this, like, or not, not that.
or
cheesy,
just
but-
that they became vampires, or that
and they
they
got girlfriends now, and
they
they're
got
like,
girlfriend vampires.
They're barely
Or-
characters. It's like there's the horny one with red hair, and then there's the other one who's like a nervous
They're
Nelly.
supposed to be the
Yeah.
comic relief.
Well, and
Yeah,
the weird like side quests of the movie, where the movie would divert to them like going to the laundromat to hit
That
on
was
women.
weird.
And I remember that. As a kid. Like there's so many things as they were happening that are like, oh my god, I haven't thought about this in 25 years or whatever.
it
but
seems
like
so
her
funny.
being like,
as a
I want to
kid.
tie you up, take me home, and I'll tie you up or whatever.
Yes.
And him being like, no. And I remember like as a kid watching that and going like, I don't understand. Like he wants to have sex, and she's definitely down to
Yeah.
do it. What's the problem? Like,
There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of shaming in this movie. Gay shaming,
there's
kink
a lot of
shaming.
homophobia.
There's a
for
lot
sure.
of homophobia.
Which was that pretty standard.
Well, remember
for like
there
any
was-
80s
Well, that was
sex
80.
comedy.
Hold on, hold
When
on.
did this come out? 85?
85. But remember they go to a bar, a singles bar where you use a phone
Yeah.
to
that
call
was
other
cool.
people. But like one of the 80s cliches is that the person who calls over the horny one is a guy in a dress
Is it
with
is
a
it
deep
trans
voice.
person? Yeah.
And it's like a really buff guy with like
Obviously
5
a
o'clock
male.
shadow.
yeah.
And this is that they do that joke in remember in Bachelor Party he has sex with
Yeah.
a guy in a
They do
dress.
it in every fucking
Yeah.
Police Academy, they go to the gay bar. This whole
Coming
like
to
guy
America, Coming to America.
Coming to
There's the whole
America.
singles bar sequence. The singles
Yes.
bar of the 80s, like it's, for anybody that like grew up with like apps and stuff like that.
That was
like,
their Tinder.
I
That
mean,
was
it
their
must have been
Tinder.
like
That was their
fucking.
dating app.
It seems like it's kind of awesome too. Like
I would rather do that than
I
Tinder.
would-
I would rather do that
like,
than an app
I
on my
honestly
phone.
think like the telephone, like if you were to set up a telephone bar like that, like
That's
I
cool.
mean,
I thought that was
that would
cool
be fucking
idea.
awesome.
It's great. It's kind of
But
gross the
ye-
way
but
they were
I was
using
thinking
it,
about-
but-
So in this movie they have they go to Hollywood, they're trying to get laid. Jim Carrey's girlfriend won't sleep with him. They go to the singles bar. They have all telephones, and then you can call other tables, and they have all the tables have numbers on them. And then I was thinking about that. If that was real, you would just harass women. You would just call. There would just be a
Yeah,
woman sitting at a
exactly.
table, and then you
Yeah.
call her and be like,
it would be all guys at this bar.
"Tell me about your pussy. Let me see your
Yeah.
tits. I'll give you $100 to give me
Well,
a
I
hand
know there was
job."
a thing back then
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
that was popular called speed dating, where you would
Yes.
I guess like sit down with a dude or like a partner.
They still
like-
do it.
Do they
That's
really?
a 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, I thought about signing up for it. Well, I just watched that. In the major cities, at least I've seen it. I watched that Love on the Spectrum show about
Oh, yeah,
autistic
yeah.
people dating,
Yeah.
and they do it. In New York, there's like an episode where almost I feel like every episode they have them do that. So there's
It's a
like
big
groups out there
reality-
like that.
It's a reality TV show activity.
Yeah,
Staple.
Yeah.
but it
Speed
is a real
dating.
activity. I bet you could look it. I'm gonna look it up right now.
So then the movie setup is that this old lady, Lauren Hutton, this old vampire chick is like a MILF cougar type. She has a gay butler played by Cleavon Little. He's
Yeah.
from Blazing Saddles. And it's kind of sad to see him in this role because you're just like, oh, I guess Blazing Saddles was this big thing, but they wanted Richard Pryor in Blazing Saddles. So no one really cared about Cleavon Little, even though he's in
Yeah.
this big hit. He just did a bunch of TV, and now he's playing this like horrible cliche of a gay butler guy.
Yeah.
And all his jokes are like at his expense.
Yeah.
And
I'm
Anyway,
in the
he wakes up
closet, and he's literally walking
Yes.
out of a closet.
he
That
comes
happened.
out of
I
the
think it was like
closet
three
twice.
times.
Three of those. Yeah.
I
Oh,
love that
three.
her everything she did. They did like 3 times. She had to eat the virgin 3 times.
Drink his
she
blood.
bit off-
Drink his
She
blood.
bit or drink his blood. She bit off his. They did the same joke where she bit off his buttons. She's just a button eater. They did that 3 times, and then they did her pushing somebody down as she exits a room 3 times. I don't think that was intentional. They just used the same trope over and over.
So yeah,
But
this
her
movie.
smashing somebody to the ground as she exits a room, that's a fucking baller move. I'm going to take that.
So she needs the blood of a virgin to be immortal.
Yeah.
And she's like, the movie's like, in LA, that must be so hard. Everybody's having sex now. But Jim Carrey's girlfriend won't put out. And Jim Carrey's girlfriend, Robin, who's played by a 25-year-old actress, she's like way too hot to be a high
Yeah,
school.
they all
Yeah.
look like
dude's
they're 30,
girlfriend.
to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. They
And
all look all look like
Or
them.
at least mid-20s.
she didn't
Did
really
she-
have much of a career. I looked her up. She basically retired in like the mid 90s, and then the last thing I found of her was that she was in an article about how she moved to Connecticut and got Lyme disease. But
Is she okay?
She married a rich guy, I think.
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
she's fine.
okay. Whew.
Oh, she's
Whew.
fine.
Does
You
Jim
take care
Carrey
of that Lyme's
ever,
disease.
does Jim like I never heard Jim Carrey like talk about this movie because it's
Well, you
it's
watched
No,
it, right?
never.
well, but it does seem like when you be
Yeah, I
like
wouldn't either.
the history of his career, it's always like I did stand up and I did stand up for a really long time, and then I did In Living Color, and then got Ace Ventura. But there's a weird thing like
And then
this is
nothing
like
for a year. Don't look it up. In '85, I did nothing, and then
there's this this is like a studio movie. Like this is he was like the lead in. I mean, I'm granted this wasn't a
Well, it
huge
was a
budget.
beat. They had low budget movies back then still. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was released in theaters. It wasn't straight to video.
And it definitely,
Lauren Hutton's in it.
I feel like it had like quite a life on cable and video cassette, and this is still well before Living Color. So I wonder. It's weird that he doesn't talk about it like this.
Yeah,
this,
and it's not like atrocious. Like it's not like
it's not like it was
embarrassing.
enough. Yeah, it was enough that like it. Not that
maybe it's personal for him.
not that because
I mean,
something's
I'll
good
text
means
him.
it's that only good things get played all the time on TV, but the fact it means that it wasn't atrocious. That's why it was on the TV all the time, and the fact that it was PG-13 meant that like it was easy to cut out them saying fuck, and there was no nudity to cut around, so there wasn't like
It's cheeky enough.
and it was the 80s, so you could still call people rump rangers and homos. And
Is that what he said? Rough
yeah,
Riders?
because I remember that I
Yeah.
remember I think maybe even asking my mom like what's a I think I thought he said romp ranger, but I think now this time it's like,
Is
he
it
said
Rump Ranger?
rump ranger.
We should get into the homophobia.
That sounds cool.
So Lauren Hutton bites him.
We should
on-
get into the
on the leg.
homophobia.
Yeah, she bites him on the leg, sucks his
Trying to pick up
blood.
a new hobby.
The trick in the movie is that she has to do it 3 times before he becomes a vampire. So the 2 dudes find out from Robin that they gotta he might have 2 little holes on his leg, but she's his girlfriend. I mean, they've been dating 6 years. You'd think they'd be blowing each other and
Yeah.
doing hand jobs and
Yeah.
dry humping like crazy
She
or
says
whatever.
she's so
But
pure. She's like pure and
she can't look at his naked thigh. So his 2 buddies are trying to look at his dick in the locker room, and they're like crawling around and getting hit in the head by the locker. And then they go into the shower, and one of them drops the soap, and then the other one has soap in his eyes. And then the horny one guy, he drops the soap, he runs and grabs Jim Carrey, and he's like, "Come on, look at it, look at it." And then the other guy's like, "I have soap in my eyes. I can't see if he has the 2 holes on his leg." But then everybody in the off screen, there's like a bunch of people in the shower room in the shower, and they're just like, fag alarm, like fag alert. We got fags here. And it's like the most I've ever heard the word fag in my life in like 1 minute of a movie. And it's so
that played on cable?
Yeah. I feel like they wouldn't even like censor that word. I don't recall.
It was so dramatic too.
It's
like
but
they
it's like
sprinted out. Like people were still so sudsy. Like I'd be like,
can't
ugh, at least I'll wash my hair out. And then also, what's going on over here?
you would just see it on his leg anyway. I mean, it's so fucking dumb. But it's very weird that's like a big comedy scene in the movie, because you don't hear the N-word the same way. You know, the N-word even in the 80s.
Well, that would have been a weird that would have been a weird scene if everybody said N-word alert in that scene. And they all ran out because
even it's always there's always like a Richard Pryor. Like Richard Pryor in Red Fox, you know, they made the N-word what it is. They established it. They made it as an edgy, you know, black humor kind of thing. So in the 80s, even in the Kentucky Fried Movie, when he says the N-word and runs, it's like, this is shocking. You don't say this. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird to see like a PG-13 movie where the guys are like fag, 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 and they're just all laughing, having fun, and now that word is like you can't say it anymore. Like
There was such
Yeah.
a, it was that was the go-to, punching bag theme of any 80s sex comedy,
Yes.
and probably just most 80s movies in general. Like it was just, it was, it was as easy to make. It was as free
Fast
to
Times
make
at
fun
Ridgemont
of as
High.
making fun of like midgets or something like
Sean
that.
Penn
Exactly. Yeah.
in the surfing fantasy when he wins the award, he's like, oh, those guys are fags.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
Oh, I
Academy
remember. I
Award.
remember the first time I was probably like, I don't know, 10 or something, and I was downstairs with one of the kids my mom babysat. My mom ran to daycare out of our house, and I think I called him. I said the F word, and I called him that, and I just heard from upstairs. My mom was just like, "What the fuck did you just say?" and like yelled at me. Or I didn't even. I think I just called him gay. Like I was just like, "Oh, you're being gay," like just as a derogatory term. And my mom just got so pissed off, and I was like, I didn't even. I was like, I thought
Well,
it
yeah,
was like
because that was in
stupid.
2018, right?
Oh, 2001.
Oh shit, Y2K. What
Why
about
you
Y?
gay?
What about Y2 gay? And everybody's clock broke and they all turned
I think
gay.
that's what I said.
It's like people
the
that
clock
committed
turns.
suicide.
The clock turns from the boobs, like on calculator. The boobs, it turns from
Yeah.
boobs to penis,
To
and then everybody
penises.
just turns gay. Yeah, to pin 15,
Damn, dude. I don't even want to
and then
think
all
about that
like
shit.
The
families are getting divorces. My parents are crying because they're both gay now, so they have to divorce and leave. It's just a mass outbreak of gay.
It's like Last of Us. They're all
And
running
then like
around in the
cut to
streets.
10 years later, it's like the most futuristic society we've ever had. We're like flying cars, like it's no pollution.
the yeah, was there any other gay stuff in this movie? Uh
Yeah. The
were
what'd
any
you
of the
say? The well,
vampires
we did
gay?
the
The
no, but
butler.
can we talk about the Confederate flag? Oh yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
butler. Every time he popped out of the closet.
Um Oh, I
Rough
No,
know,
but
you know
the
what? You
trade.
know what
Confederate
I heard?
flag.
What I remember, I remember seeing it now, and I remember seeing it as a kid and not knowing what it meant, is when they said something about like uh torching Cleavon Little's balls, and he
Yeah.
goes, "Ooh, rough trade."
Yes, yes.
And I
What'd
remember
that
as a kid
mean?
going, "What is rough trade?" And I can't remember if I ever asked my folks what that
Oh,
meant or
because
not.
it was like what is that? Because they
Rough
trade
trade is
sexual
just like,
favors.
yeah, rough trade means like you're
I'll
into
bite your
like
feet and you
into
suck
just
my
like
butt.
fucked up sex
That's
stuff.
like
And
cruising
so,
sex.
yeah,
Those are
yeah,
rough trade bars and cruising.
yeah,
That
Now
seemed like a
Ryan's
normal Tuesday to me.
yeah. I
I've shown
know.
Ryan so many movies now that I can refer back.
Did you
And I
see
think,
Cruising, Ryan?
oh my God, I can't stop watching it.
You like to? Do you get to do poppers and do the dance?
Oh, I don't even do that. I just go straight in and start touching butts. I'm a
Al
cheek
Pacino would
guy.
Al Pacino would have been good in Once Bitten. As a
Yeah,
high school kid. He's like
yeah.
50, he's like 45 years old.
She's got a great bite. Wait, that was the other one.
The
Just
I there was this movie was so 80s that I completely had forgot about the choreographed dance sequence
That
that
goes
sort
on.
of
It's like
like
6 minutes.
it took, because I mean there was a lot, especially any movie that was aimed at teens at this time was like, well, we got MTV is a thing. Like MTV is
yeah.
such an important thing. We need to have something that at least
Well,
feels like a music video in this
you
movie.
got to
So
have the high school dance in these
yeah,
movies with the band. There's always the band and the high school
Yep, yep,
dance.
yep. They're still doing
Carrie,
it. I just watched Wednesday, that Wednesday show, Wednesday Addams,
yes.
the Adam Family show, and there's a whole major scene. That new Matilda movie, but that's a musical, I guess. So Yeah, you got to get kids dancing on the dance floor, and then it's like a trendy dance that now all these kids, and you're getting them young. You're getting them sucked in young.
They're getting sucked off young.
They're
Kids
getting
dancing.
well, not even.
This movie was basically made for TikTok. That's what I'm saying.
Jim Carrey does a
Agreed.
dance, and then he's dancing with his girlfriend. He's dressed as a vampire. She's Jill, and then Lauren Hutton shows up wearing a suit, like a sexy Marlena Dietrich looking
Yeah.
outfit,
and nobody's like, there's a grown ass woman at this high school dancing with this high school kid.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey's dancing with these two girls, and there's like a big circle, and they're like, "Wow, this is so cool." And Jim Carrey does like a thing where he picks up his leg and plays it like a guitar.
Yeah, I remember him
every
doing
now
that
and then. Yeah,
at the end
every
of
now and then
Color.
he does a Jim Carrey thing.
Yeah. Every now and then during the credits, the goodnight part of Living Color. In Living Color, he would play his leg guitar wise or whatever.
Oh, that was one of his things.
Yeah, that was one of his things. He would occasionally do, and he does one or two impressions. He does like a De Niro impression real quick, where he
that
makes his face.
Towards the end, he gets goofier and he gets more fun.
Yeah,
because what does she call him? She calls it. You look like a. Because he's clearly turning into a vampire. He's like pale. He's only wearing all black, sunglasses during the day.
Your hair. What's going on with your hair? I was like, I thought I looked like De Niro.
He slicks his hair back. But like the big thing that he goes through is he wears sunglasses, and then one day he tries to eat a cockroach in class, and it's like,
oh, he's dissecting a frog too, right?
He's dissecting a frog. Yeah, there is a scene they cut where they ate cockroaches. I'm sorry.
Wait, tell me about that.
They did a scene where they were gonna he was gonna eat a cockroach and make everybody else in the room eat a cockroach, and he insisted they be real.
Is that a vampire thing?
Renfield does that, like in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yeah, like they eat bugs, and then like he made everybody eat a real cockroach. I guess they were dead cockroach, but then they cut the scene. That's in the IMDb trivia.
That's weird, so who knows man.
He seems.
I want to direct a movie, and I want to do that. I want to do a deleted scenes. That's going to be the name of the movie. I'm going to cast a movie and make a bunch of fucked up, real Windy City Heat style.
Man, is that?
And you're just making people eat bugs and shit.
Yeah, but then I don't actually make a movie afterwards. I'm like, I think we're pulling the plug on this one.
People do that. They said James Franco in his acting classes would do acting scenes where he just like made out with the girls in the class.
Yeah.
And
that's so weird, dude. Ugh.
You know, like get them naked.
Come on, no, he wouldn't.
Topless, I bet.
Go on.
I don't remember.
I bet.
I don't remember, but whatever. That's all acting really is. It's just
getting topless.
Guys having sex with women and tricking them.
That's why I got into it.
Yeah.
Everybody's acting, man. That's life.
That's what's like. That's what's life.
And life sucks. I'm gonna put that on my license plates.
And in
Hollywood, you better start sucking, because otherwise you're gonna be the sucker.
You're gonna grow old.
Yeah.
I remember watching this and having a lot of unanswered questions about how sex
unanswered boners.
I don't think anyone who worked on this movie has had sex. It's like they took all the sex out of the movie. It's a whole 80s comedy about sex, but there's nothing sexy.
Yeah, there's really none.
Realistic. Well, they're doing it in the coffin at the end. That would be so hard.
That would be difficult.
They defeat the vampire by quickly banging.
She goes, "No way, you guys enjoyed yourself in 60 seconds." And he's already got 2 cigs lit.
Yeah.
His eyes are like crossed, he's like smiling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ooh. It's like when a guy in a movie
masky.
You know, in a movie when a person gets high and they act like really dumb.
Yeah.
He's acting like that, like he just like, yeah, I had sex. Whoa.
Her eyes were all squinted. It's like there's no way she enjoyed it.
I do miss the
It'd be
trope.
funny if she just had a fat load on her face and was like really uncomfortable. And they're like, "Oh, we'll give you a minute to like."
Oh God, do you need a towel?
clean
They
up.
grabbed
She's
the
like,
Confederate flag from the.
she's
I've always
crying.
wondered with the fellas in this vampire rules scenario, is it penetration or ejaculation that makes him a virgin?
Yeah, because she says there's no way you could have done it in 60 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, and maybe, I mean, you could. I mean, I know,
You
Lord
gotta
knows I
owe.
have.
No, you gotta
I mean,
owe. You gotta
I've done those
blast.
numbers half.
Oh, easily under half. I've done negative those numbers.
You've came so quick that you didn't even put it in first. So
Yeah,
that's
it was like before I even talked to the girl.
yeah,
It was wild. I was like walking up and I was like, hell, and then
yeah.
later I found out we could have potentially done coitus.
The first time the time I lost my virginity, the first time I lost my virginity,
What'd
it
you
was on-
regain it? Where'd you?
it was on this
But then I
girl's
was born
carpet.
again.
I fucked this girl on her parents' carpet in the middle of her house because she was like a latchkey kid, so we could go there after school.
Did you get
But I just
rug burn?
no, but I just banged her on the floor, and I felt like it was so awkward and uncomfortable. And I remember thinking, and I was like the first time I ever wore a condom, and it was like I felt like I was just jerking off with her body. Like it did not feel like I was having
Yeah.
sex. Like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. You know, like you're
Yeah.
just trying to make it work.
Oh, I had
Yeah.
rose petals. I had chocolates. I had a music going on. Seal was playing. I was very adult about it. I had a champagne. Well, it was the white grape, the sparkling
Mhm.
grape juice champagne. That's all I could buy.
Like
Did
Bart
you-
Simpson
I was
or
10.
something.
Did you do the '80s thing of? Because this is the thing I love in '80s movies is the old we both smoke a cigarette after sex.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta just to relax, man.
Yeah.
They do that in Gummo. Also, he smokes. A
Do they
cigarette
in bed?
Well, that's an old trope, right? That's from like
Yeah, that's
the
a
black and
very
white
famous
movies.
old trope.
Yeah.
But just
Wow.
it
You
is
can
so
never show it.
crazy that just the idea of smoking a cigarette in bed.
Well, you
know
couldn't
what my
show
move
it.
is? My move is drinking because I don't smoke cigs. But
Uh-huh.
literally, like one of my favorite things to do is after about 5 to 12 seconds of perfect sex, and then I nut.
Mhm.
Just love to like drink straight out of a bottle, like just take a big swig and then just lay down.
A booze.
I honestly, I love it. Or chug out of a can. Like I just want to drink immediately.
A bottle
after.
of what?
I haven't done it in a while, but rum is good. Tequila. I drink a lot of tequila, so
A bottle of cum.
Yeah.
You just have like a little bottle of cum. You're like, yeah, got to
Finally.
refill.
A bottle of your own.
one
urine.
in, one out. That's what I say.
You have like a spoon, like it's medicine, like cold medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking gross.
I need to replenish.
What you really do
You think
after
I
you
just-
bust,
And the girl's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "What? You think I just make this stuff on my own? No, I gotta put it right back."
I gotta.
Scraping it off of her.
I just feel like I don't have as much essence.
yeah.
My life force is draining.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
This came out the
And
same year as
you wake up and a butler's just there with a glass of orange juice.
this came out the same year as Teen Wolf, and it's very similar. That's a werewolf
Oh,
teenage.
mm.
movie.
Yeah, that's a ripoff, huh?
There's so many high school movies in the 80s. It's just like endless.
Yeah.
What was going on? That was Weinstein, dude. That was like the big pedophile era.
It's mall culture, suburb culture,
Yeah, mall culture for sure. It was such like a
Weird.
Fast Times kind of copycats. It's like, in the late 90s, the American Pie boom, Scream boom of that teen boom shit was like an 80s revival.
yeah. Is
Yeah,
it in there? Is that happening now? And is it just happening in a place where, because there's so many streaming services that I don't keep track of that aren't targeted to me. Whereas back then, like, you used to open up the newspaper and see all the movies playing and stuff.
It's there's
It-
like
it-
there is one happening now, and it's because of Riverdale. So Wednesday,
Oh, Sabrina reboot.
but there was also before that Glee. There's always some sort of
Okay,
high
yeah.
school thing happening. But the Riverdale one was a big deal
Well,
because
yeah, Wednesday.
they took that stupid property and they made it like Cruel Intentions. So there's always
But I guess for feature films, it's like just kind of the way that like feature films, it kind of seems like, well, you got your indie art house fare or Marvel
Yeah.
or Star Wars movies, and there's not this. There was some stuff in here
TV
like
is where it's at now. TV
Yeah.
has taken over comedy, dramedy.
the
Your
comedy.
we
Vampire
also- we
High
might-
School.
we- We might be evolving though too, like in the sense of how like the cheesy life imitates movies or movies imitate life, which is which. It's like 50-50. And maybe now we're like worried about apocalypse and super powered people. Like, what is that going to happen? Is that the next stage? Aliens and shit?
Man, I'm still worried about vampires.
Yeah.
They want
We were talking vamps last night. Yeah, I call them vamps. So I'm pretty pissed about this movie because why would you not want to become a vampire?
Yeah.
Ditch your high school girlfriend and just go live
They
forever
have-
with this.
there's no-
fucking babe. I mean, maybe
They
let
don't
make it.
They don't even show any of the negative sides. So it's
Yeah.
he's like invisible in the mirror.
For
Sometimes
a second.
It's a
on the
it's
third
very
bite, would he be
mediocre.
fully turned?
they don't deal with any of the cool shit the way Teen Wolf does.
Yeah.
Teen Wolf, he becomes popular. It's like they make it his high school experience changes. He's just trying to get laid. And I hate the thing about how he's a virgin, and then it's like, are his two friends virgins? They act like it, especially that
Yeah.
one.
They are. He wears that. Was that shirt he was wearing?
So why doesn't she just get all three of them?
Yeah.
Literally, boom, 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 1, 2, 3. Because she's playing with her food. She's like a damn cat.
I want
That's the
it.
thing with these. That's like these things with these vamps. They're like damn cats.
They never go for the humor in this movie. They never go for any of the jokes. There is no. It's just such a formulaic.
Yeah, I was watching
Yeah.
it with my
Romantic
roommate, and
comedy.
I said it was like such weird pacing on the joke because like the laundry scene was supposed to be a joke. Like that was supposed to
And
be a
even
big
just like
bit.
the editing, the cuts, it felt
Yeah,
like
it was
there's
weird pacing.
there's like there'll be 2-second pauses after jokes where people just kind of look at each other, and there's just like everything. Yeah, the editing felt so belabored.
It's directed by a TV guy. He only made this movie, and he directed a shit ton of
It felt
TV
like that.
before and a lot of TV afterwards. And it feels like glorified TV. So that's why it played so well on cable. It just he made it for
Yeah.
the small box. This is not a movie of big ideas. This is no Teen Wolf, okay? That's the real
And I guess the
And
other
Fright
thing in
Night-
common with Teen Wolf
Fright Night's
is
awesome.
the sidekick in Teen Wolf has a shirt that says, "What are you staring at, dick nose?" And
Yeah,
then
there's
this
always
guy
a
has a
horny
shirt that says,
friend.
"Registered gynecologist."
No. It
Yes.
said unregistered. It said freelance.
Unregistered,
It was
yeah,
freelance gynecologist. I was like, what the bro? No wonder you ain't getting laid. Like that's basically
I might-
a
actually, I
female
might get one
body
of those.
inspector.
I kind of want a freelance gynecologist shirt. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty funny now.
I'll get because I'll
Not in high
like
school.
roll around and go like, "Hey girl, you want a pap smear? You want me
Like,
to?"
yeah. But you
If
have
you're
to
used
actually
to
you actually
infections.
learn how to do all this stuff.
Yeah, I would. That's the thing. It's like it's not a sex thing. It's just I want to be.
Yeah, but in the
I'm going-
package.
I want to like be really good at figuring out, vaginal pH balances on my own.
You have like
You
a,
should use
help
a
out.
little
I just wanna
strip,
help
a
out.
chemical strip.
You drive
Yeah.
around a truck with like a chair in the back, and you're like,
Yeah.
"What's up?
I got
You need a little
speculums, I
gynecology
got-
work?"
It's the creepiest looking thing, but
Spatulas,
it's like
all kinds
it's
of shit.
it's super wholesome, and you're just trying to go give
Yeah.
free pap smears.
You're like the guy in Nightcrawler, Jake Gyllenhaal. You're like super
Yeah.
intense.
Oh my god! But his intentions
been-
are pure.
Yeah,
I'm just a very good gynecologist. There's like a car accident, a person's like bleeding to death, and you're like, "Hold on, let me take a look at your pussy." You just like spread her legs,
Come on
just,
now.
but
just the idea.
put a
of getting to
speculum
see-
in.
That's basically
Okay.
the movie Crash, right?
She has. You got crabs down here. Let me take care of that.
This would be fun
Her like
if
neck
you're
is just
like
spurting blood out.
Yeah.
unregistered proctologist because I like anal
Oh
so
fuck yeah,
much.
that's your competitor. That's Bill
Yeah.
Paxton.
I'm gonna get one that says unregistered sex offender. No, I'm back just
But
proud about it. Unregistered sex offender.
I want to see what those other actors went on to do.
you should definitely wear that.
That would throw people off.
There's a couple of cameos in this movie. Dean Stockwell shows up as a
Who's that?
valet. He's in Blue Velvet. He's in a bunch of 50s and 60s movies. I don't know why he's in this movie. He has no lines. And then Megan Mullally is the lady at the high school dance who she's like, love your costume. He's like, I'm not wearing a costume.
Yeah, what was
Oh
what
wow,
was that about?
I didn't. Yeah, he was really upset.
He again, that was like 3 times. He said that 3
I'm
times.
not wearing a costume. I'm just
He
a
said that,
vampire.
and then he said it again in the thing to somebody else. And then when he won the award, he goes, "I'm not a vampire. I'm just wait." And he runs out. How embarrassing!
I think Jim Carrey doesn't like this movie because he knew how unfunny it was, and
I bet they didn't take his notes at all.
no, and he was like, "I'm so much funnier than this fucking movie."
Literally.
Yeah.
I watched his stand up from '84. It's not good, but he's definitely funnier than this movie.
I definitely.
Did you send that clip of him? He goes, it's like in 1990 or something. And he goes, maybe it's before that probably. And he goes, man, getting older sucks. The bit is, getting older sucks, huh? Getting older sucks. And then he just does this crazy thing where he flails all of his limbs around and he goes, blah, 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 makes a bunch of gargle bargle, jumps up and down and just flails his whole body. And there's no response. And then it's silent and he goes, yeah, you can't do that when you're old. And then the crowd fucking blows up. They're just, wah! It's like at the Comedy Store. And I'm like, all right, that's a fun bit. That's a fun bit. That's some Pee-wee shit.
Robin Williams-esque.
Yeah, well, Robin Williams was a little more wordy than Jim Carrey.
Oh yes, you can't get old when you do that anymore.
Do a Robin Williams as instead of Jim Carrey in Once Bitten.
Oh, I don't. I feel like I may run ranger. Oh Lord, homo.
Sounds like a weird Indian, like in a cowboy movie.
Yeah, it did kind of sound
Ooh.
corn, maize, and your people call it corn.
Ooh, I'm not wearing a costume. He just has like a
what's
rubber around his
another
neck.
crazy Jim Carrey role?
Huh?
Is
the alien one?
He plays the singer of Guns N' Roses in a Dirty Harry movie. The opening of a Dirty Harry movie is they're shooting a metal band and he's the lead singer. And it's Welcome to the Jungle, and they're shooting a video, and he's the lead singer, and he's dressed up like a hair metal guy, and he's singing "Welcome to the Jungle," and then you realize,
ironically or whatever, like he's
it's real. He's playing it like he dies, like he heroin ODs, but it's like a frame up, and then dirty. It's like the inciting incident that has Dirty Harry going into a thing there, and going into the case of the whole episode. But yeah, that's another like weird it's Jim Carrey was bouncing around Hollywood before he
was also in a shitty TV show called The Duck Factory.
Oh yeah, I remember them repackaging that.
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson is in this scene also. This movie fucking
Jim Carrey
blows.
has Johnny Squares.
Deadpool. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be funny. I thought it
It's
was
just
like a
like-
serious.
No, I
It's
think
by the time Dirty Harry's getting a little kooky,
Yeah.
getting a little like self-referential, a lot of jokes, a lot of quips.
yeah.
We gotta make this. We gotta make it funny. Let's get Jim Carrey.
All right, that's fun to watch. I'm gonna have to watch that later.
Yeah, just watch Jim Carrey in Deadpool. You'll love it. Or Deadpool, not Drowning Pool. Speaking of drowning, where's Cassandra? Huh? Is she ever gonna show up?
Oh yeah, we were supposed to have a third guest.
Try
Lauren
to end the
Hutton.
show.
Lauren Hutton was also. I'm just like looking at her stuff. She was in a movie that also was weirdly 1981 movie called Zorro, the Gay
The
Blade.
Gay Blade. Oh yeah.
Which
What?
It's about
Who's that? Who's this character?
In
Once Bitten.
This is the woman,
The old lady.
the vampire.
Oh,
lady.
okay, got you.
So in this, she is the main Zorro. Zorro is played by George Hamilton, and he gets hurt, or he decides at some point that he is going to stop being Zorro for a little while. He's going to go on vacation, and he finds his cousin or his brother who it's like his cousin who looks exactly like him, and only he's a flaming gay guy. And he gets him to play Zorro. So he's Zorro, but he has all these very flamboyant, outfits, and is very like, ho, like just like the most just insanely 80s stereotypical gay.
Yeah.
And Lauren Hutton is the woman who, I guess like the real Zorro was romancing her for a while, and then when the gay Zorro shows up, she can't understand why he's not
Zorro.
interested. He's not interested in him, but it's such like a
It's like Three's Company-ish.
Yeah. I do. It's been even longer since I've seen that. But there was a
week
year
since I
or two
watched
where
The
it was
Gay
on.
Blade.
It's been.
It was on all the fucking time.
It was on Comedy Central a lot. I never watched it. It always looked fucking dumb. I didn't
It's
understand
awful. It is beyond awful.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it now. Peter Medak. I've been meaning to watch that and Species 2. So.
Oh, I watched Species 2 like 2 nights ago on the VHS at work.
Oh, sick, dude.
That movie is wild. I've never listened to the dialogue.
It's been
But you don't
1
really need
week
to.
since I watched Species 2.
2 years since I watched Species 1.
To tie it in, there's another movie that was on a lot with George Hamilton called Love at First Bite.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dracula. It's a comedy where he's Dracula. I can't remember what it was about.
I feel like there's Ghostbusters. That was a huge like horror comedy, like supernatural comedy. So I think there was a bunch of these like stupid movies 3 years later.
Yeah.
Like Once Bitten and Teen Wolf and Fright Night. It's just like comedy and comedy and horror, mixed together.
Humidity, baby.
That's my portmanteau. I just invented humidity, the future of cinema.
Humidity.
Horridy.
You sound like Cool Keith. Porno core, horrorcore,
Comedy core.
Autistic.
comcore.
I will say that as not I'm completely I had so much nostalgia watching it and like remembering this that I'm a little bit, it's hard for me to be completely critical about this because I liked it so much when I was a kid that there's probably a lot of glaring flaws in it that nostalgia completely puts on rose-colored glasses over
Well,
it.
yeah.
I watched it. So
I watched it for the first time, and it was.
It's very watchable.
Yeah, it was like fine. Like it was nice. I didn't feel bad when like I looked at a text or something. Like
No.
I didn't. It was just nice.
It's
It
a
was a
very
nice,
it's
and I had a late night last night too, and I watched it today, and so it was a nice kind of like hangover, chill, get
4
waking
p.m.
up.
It's the perfect 4 p.m. movie.
I
Yeah.
literally watched it at 4:40.
Oh yeah. 4:30 p.m. You're looking for something easy, breezy, you watch One Spitting.
I just wish they would have shown some of those awesome titties.
So remember
Honestly,
Killer
dude, she was so
Killer
hot. The Countess, she was even hot
remember
when she got old.
Yeah.
see her cleavage. But remember in Killer Clowns from Outer Space? You ever see that movie, Ryan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey and
I don't think he's in Clear Clowns
the
from Outer
Jurassic.
Space.
He's not. Oh, not Killer Clowns. I'm thinking of the horny aliens movie.
That's Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah, another
that's
Jim
what I
Carrey
was
movie.
thinking of.
Yeah, he
Jim
was he
Carrey
really was
and-
working.
That movie's great. And who's the guy? Who am I thinking of? Jeff
Damon
Goldblum.
Wayans is in that movie also, I forget.
Yeah.
And Goldblum
Yeah, it does-
or Burt Reynolds.
There's all these like Jim Carrey, like I was so broke stories, and I wrote myself a check for
He's
$1
in like
million.
movie every year.
Yeah. He
But,
worked
like,
hard, man. He put work
he was
in.
doing plenty of work. Like he was like his career before he blew the fuck up was something that I would be I'm really happy with right now.
He
Like,
Well,
worked
it's like
would
Jack
love-
Black.
dude.
Remember Jack Black in Mars Attacks? And you're like, oh, that's Jack
Yeah.
Black. You know, he's in a little role there. Or like he's in Airborne. He's in
Yeah.
Neverending Story 3. He's in these like shitty ass movies.
Physical. They're like physical characters. God damn, I should have been more physical. I'm way too dry.
You gotta be physical. You gotta be funny. You gotta be
Yeah.
I need
cool.
to
And
be
then eventually
slipping more. I need to be falling on stage more.
you get your high fidelity, your School of Rock.
I need to gain a bunch of weight and then a bunch of flexibility
Mhm.
and have my
Your
Jack
goal-
Black moment.
Your Gulliver's Travels. So like in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that movie is about alien clowns from outer space who come to Earth.
Yeah.
And there's the characters drive around in an ice cream truck, and then two of his buddies at the end fuck clowns in an almost identical scene to
Oh,
Once
yeah.
Bitten. And it always I always thought that was interesting that these two movies were so stupid and predictable that they had like the exact same shitty joke.
Well, it's just a template.
Yes, but maybe Killer Clowns saw this movie and ripped it off.
What
I
year
mean,
was Killer Clowns? Yeah, when did that come out?
It's like 88, so it's possible.
Oh, Killer ripped it off. I mean, that was also the trope in like Revenge of the Nerds. Like that was all you always go. There's one character that ends up with the crazy one, or like the opposites attract, or like what? That's you know what? I don't know what I'm saying.
I do wonder if those vampires killed those two horny guys. Or
I see they
if-
should have turned.
No,
them.
I think they fucked and made beautiful love. I think they
Yeah.
got it down on the carpet
They finally got
They-
laid.
and they
Just
jerked
like
off at those.
Williams.
They jerked off at those clowns' full bodies, just like a big, just a big meat hole to jump around.
When you
jostle.
say that, what do you mean? Did you move your body or did you move her body?
I was like grabbing her shoulder and like her thigh, like trying to move her on my dick,
Like a human fleshlight.
like a big fist, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. You don't know.
She was
You don't know
conscious?
because it was
Yeah.
missionary.
She was
That's-
conscious, right?
That's always
He was
a
in
fun
an
time.
iron
That
lung.
first time you get
No.
a try on that.
She was in an iron lung.
I'm just fucking her face. No, just kidding. That'd be outrageous. Just bust out a lady's face. You're like, dude, I lost my virginity last night. What? Tell me all about it. Yeah. She was in an iron
Stacey?
lung,
Oh, that bitch in the iron lung.
and I just jerked off on her face, and then that was it.
I mean, that's Uma Thurman in Kill Bill.
Oh
When
yeah.
she was in that coma. That's like a
Vaseline.
thing people do, huh?
Yeah, dead bodies.
They get
too.
pregnant.
There's a
Dead
lot
bodies,
of problem
hell
with
yeah.
people fucking dead bodies as well.
See, yeah, that might be better. That's fine. I'd rather have a dead body get fucked than like a coma patient.
There's
that's a
another
live
great.
body that's gonna come back with a consciousness and be like, "Yo, you fucked me
That's
up." A
you're
dead body's
ethical,
just
Ryan.
Most people
Defiling
don't come
a
out of
corpse is
comas.
a dead body is just if I had to choose, I would say I'd rather have people fucking dead bodies because a dead body, the soul and the spirit and the consciousness are already gone. It's just like a husk of meat. It's
You're like
weird. It's
Aristotle.
weird.
That doesn't turn you on more?
But if
What's going
somebody,
on?
fucking
I love
somebody in a
meat.
coma,
I like meat.
you fuck meat
That's what I'm saying. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy when it comes to
raw.
the bed. I get
Can I get it well
I get a
done?
potato and I bore a hole in there and then I stuff some raw meat.
Like Close Encounters. He's just like sculpting a
Yeah.
perfect pussy
Yeah.
at the table.
This
And he
means
starts
something.
fucking it. He's like, oh,
This
his wife and
means
kids
something.
are horrified.
R.I.P. What's her name?
The lady from Close Encounters.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking of
He
that
dumped
scene
that
where
bitch.
Jim Carrey but gets the what's his name even? His character's name.
Oh, it's something really dumb. Marty or some shit.
Yeah.
Once bitten.
His name's Once Bitten.
You get very hard.
Yeah,
once
the opening
bitten.
the
Mark.
opening song. Oh, Mark.
Where did they get
I'm
those
not
bands?
dressed up like a vampire.
His Canadian accent's really bad in this movie.
Yeah,
He's always
there was a number of
Dory.
Who's?
Jim Carrey.
Jim
He was
Carrey's
supposed to be
Canadian accent.
Canadian?
No, he is
No,
Canadian.
he is Canadian, but he's supposed to be Californian. But there's a number
Oh.
of sorry.
I read this guy's blog post who wrote this movie. He wrote it when he was like 20, 21 in college. And he sold the script. And then like the script reader at the studio was like, this is the funniest movie I've ever read. And then he spent 2 years like doing rewrites and he made 10 grand. And he basically lived off of that for 2 years. And then when the movie came out, he got a $6,000 bonus and he bought like a car. And then he blew all the money. And because, he only got it after like the course of 2 years. So
Yeah.
he was working at a video store and he just like was so depressed because they changed everything and they made it a lot lamer. Like originally it was going to have like this opening with like weird freaky people coming out of the city and they're all like junkies and they're homeless and they're all like supposed to be real freaks, and then he was upset they turned into this like cartoon LA.
Yeah, what the hell was that? That whole scene was weird.
I mean, it was pretty much a shot for shot. Like, let's show what from you said it earlier. It's almost a shot for shot montage of this is what Hollywood is like from Valley Girl and a couple other movies too. Like that,
Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop is driving around like, whoa, LA's crazy.
Yeah, there's a ton of movies that do that. I think it would have been better
if it would have gone more like Tim Burton-y. With like, if it would have been weirder and not like weird and there's a lady with a lion on a leash. That's just like
he's in Christmas Town.
That's just not weird. Christmas Town? Yeah, it's just Hollywood's just
like,
always
what's
Christmas.
This? What's this? That would have been crazy.
No, not even like claymation weird, but just like actual like lizard man, Eric. Like just all the like actual circus people.
Or like if they went to a real
made it a little more fantastical.
What if they went to the Viper Room and instead of being this like 32-year-old person's idea of dating, where they're like, hey, I'm trying to rap with a single lady. Like if they went to like a rock bar and they were like rock people, like hot girls in makeup,
weird piercings for the 80s.
tattoos, and he's just like, that's where the vampires should be. They should be with the goths. They should be with the rockers. They should be at the Draculas.
Well, vampires, they
Mike
all have
Wiebe
individual
show.
Personalities. They all have individual.
There
people.
One of the female vampires was supposed to be a flower child from Haight Ashbury, because that was like her line. She was like, I haven't had this much fun since Haight Ashbury. And it wasn't until looking here like, oh, that's what they did a really bad job of portraying her as an ex-flower child. I don't know.
There was a
didn't.
cabin boy. One of them is called Cabin Boy Vampire, and that's the guy from just one of the guys
It's Chris
into,
Elliott.
who was into reptiles, and he's also in Friday the 13th Part 2. But yeah, there's a cabin boy.
What about and there's
Confederate.
the Confederate flag. Yeah, the Confederate
Well, he's a
soldier.
Confederate soldier. That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Southern Gothic shit.
But the butler didn't say shit about that.
He has a slave.
What? Yeah,
The
literally.
butler's a slave.
But the butler's the master though too of
Seems
those
like
guys.
that
Like
would've-
the Confederate soldier's boss.
Those vampires are racist. If they're
Yeah.
Confederates, he'd be like, I don't want to work with this black gay butler guy.
Yeah, that could really. It seems like that could cause some trouble.
They didn't even
don't
have
really
any discord about it.
We got to get into the details of this vampire society. It's like, how does this work?
Yeah, because I don't
say
know
how
how
that
it
works
works.
either.
Where
Once
she,
Bitten, the HBO series.
what,
You're supposed to drink a vampire's blood, and that's how you turn. You can't. They give you
Or they
you
suck
their
your
blood. No, because that doesn't make any sense. If there would be a billion trillion vampires all over the place, no, when they suck your blood, they're just eating you. They're just drinking you like a Capri Sun. When
What?
You're done. You're dead. You're
but
dead
I don't
husk that
understand
somebody
why
can fuck.
she needs. So did she need to fuck him or drink his blood 3 times?
Drink his blood 3 times.
Okay, but it needed to
And
be
then
on
did
different
she
days.
fuck them all?
Yeah, why didn't
Did
she
they
do
all
it? Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and then why does
Before
she need-
Halloween, and then Halloween passed, and she
then
was still alive.
why do the other vampires not have to do that as well?
Yeah,
They're
why do they
they're
even care?
underlings?
When do they hate this new guy? The whole thing is poorly thought out.
Yeah, why don't they just leave?
And again, like there's a lot of
Yeah.
forgiveness that could be given if we would have seen a lot of nudity in it. We didn't see any.
And also, why is there a Confederate soldier in California?
Well, she
Dude,
got him.
that
She's
was-
been around that
Hived
long,
him
and
up
she's
down,
been traveling. I took the Haight Ashbury thing as them like being travelers because she had an English accent.
That's how vampires do too. They hive up
Like
and then they gotta move.
They're gypsies.
Trust me, I know a couple.
Oh,
But
what?
yeah, that's what I
Mhm.
thought. You know, a couple vampires. Fuck, dude. You better-
And then there were twin vampires, Cabin
Must-
Boy
yeah.
Vampire, Stuart Charno as Cabin Boy Vampire. He just gets punched out too. They punch him in the face.
Also,
he
the
just
butler
goes down.
wasn't a vampire. He was just a familiar, right?
Oh, I don't
Because they
know.
would
Maybe.
every time they hissed, he never hissed with them. And every time they did vampire stuff, I think he was just like
He's their
hypnotized.
slave. He's their
Literally.
slave. They're Confederates. They're racist vampires, and they have a black slave butler.
Of course. God damn it.
It's fucking bullshit.
And they just give
Like,
up when they fuck. Well, vampires have slaves. That's what they do. They hypnotize a familiar and then keep them to do all their chores, promising they'll turn them.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know a few.
Again, I'm like freaking out that you keep saying this. Is that from your job, your bartending job?
I just know a couple people.
But from where?
About 153 years ago. When? From when is when you need to ask.
He's a vampire. You see his outfit, his sunglasses.
Yeah,
It's
we should
obvious.
say that Ryan is wearing all black. He's wearing sunglasses. His hair is slicked back. And he's pale as the fucking...
I'm
just
drinking
pale-
blood.
Yeah, and he's drinking a goblet of blood,
blood,
that looks
baby.
like it's
Weasel-
mixed.
weasel
looks like
blood.
it's
There's
mixed,
over-
looks like it's mixed with semen.
There's
That's
hundreds of
mostly
candles
semen, but
in
there's
his room.
some blood in there.
He looks like Brad Pitt in an Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
Stop. You do not think so. Thank you. Wait, he's not gay in that movie, is he?
He's gay curious.
I mean, do you call making love with other men gay?
So would you would
Kisses
you
Tom
turn?
Cruise.
I say I'm mad at Jim Carrey for not wanting to turn, but if you think about it, I would not want to turn at 18. That would be a shitty age to turn into a vampire.
Wow. lucky for him, he's 36 in that movie. But
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, they
supposed
had
to be
no
like
problem. They had no problem getting into that bar and getting beer.
yeah, there
Like
was
no problem. Like
no.
there was no. They had like 20 drinks on the table by the end of the. Oh, and that guy just whips a gun out, and there's no security. There's no adult supervision
there's a
in this whole
security.
movie.
That's
Yeah, but it
like
takes him like 52 minutes. There's no staff there. He's like yelling for 5 minutes before he pulls the gun out.
It's lame.
yeah.
It's like it should have been scary. It's like why can't you make your movie have one real moment?
Yeah.
Everything is so
Because back
corny.
then it wasn't everything back then, like gun violence in public spaces like that wasn't as serious.
You know what's a real big failure of this movie is that Lauren Hutton isn't sexy and isn't trying to be sexy in this movie. Like it doesn't work. Like her whole
You don't think she was sexy?
I
that
thought the
V-cut?
girlfriend
Whoosh.
Robin was way hotter.
She was a babe too. She was sexy too.
Yeah, watching it now, I didn't get the feeling that Lauren Hutton was that much older than the girlfriend.
She's
No,
supposed to
especially
be
when they're dancing.
really experienced and like really seductive, but
300 years old.
Her dumb outfit at the dance, it's like this is not turning me on.
300 years horny. Can you imagine being horny for that long?
She needs big tits. This character,
Elvira style.
It's like that's the thing. Like he should be looking at his high school girlfriend, flat chested, and then he should be looking at the older MILF type with big curves, big ass, big legs.
She's a vampire though, dude. She hypnotizes him.
But I'm saying like that should be the choice, the maternal versus, the experienced woman versus the
Elvira would have been good in this.
The
actually.
child, yeah.
Elvira and Jim
woman.
Carrey acting together. That could have been fun.
Sparks would fly.
40...
I mean, Pee-wee.
Yeah, and then Pee-wee has a little cameo where he's like pouring punch at the ball while they're all doing the dance montage, and then it cuts to Pee-wee pouring like a thing of fruit punch. He goes, ha, ha, wow, and then that's it. Yeah, yeah, and then he's not in the rest of the movie. It's literally a half a second. See, that's a movie.
The problem is in the 80s, there is no voluptuous women that were famous.
Elvira.
They don't like Farrah Fawcett, skinny. Remember Fatal Attraction? What's her face?
Yeah, the thing was
the blonde.
We talked about this with bikinis. Like back then, it was just all flat asses and
yeah. They definitely
it
had
was
that
just weird beach,
that long cut, that like
yeah.
Blonde.
They're like
skinny
and again,
legs.
there's nothing wrong with that, but that seems what they were proselytizing.
Or Weird Science. She's tall and skinny.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's Farrah Fawcett, right? I mean,
Kelly Preston though. Kelly Preston and Mischief. What's the
type? What's the type now? Women with mustaches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's next. I think that's next. Men with tits?
Trans
no,
women.
That was Brad Pitt and
trans women.
No, not trans. Just a dude with one tit in the middle of his sternum.
A tit dick. A guy with piercing. A tit for a dick. That'd be cool.
Tit dick.
Nice kid. Jim Carrey's all horny for her.
Has a baby. How's the baby milk?
You gotta milk the baby.
Just picture it. You got a tit for a dick, and that's how you milk the baby. What's that gonna look like in public? Somebody comes over and he just looks like you're getting blown by an infant on a park bench.
Like liar.
And then somebody's like, "Oh my God, stop it!" And then everybody around's like, "Come on, they're just feeding.
It's natural.
It's natural." And the baby's just down in your crotch. Think about it. Picture it. Picture it. Ask an AI to do an NFT about it.
The future, you'll be able to have any body type you want, any organ. We'll have it on demand. Yeah, you'll have like plastic surgery on demand in a vending machine. And it'll be really good.
You just stick your arm in a vending machine, and there's different holes depending on the part that you want changed. That seems dangerous, William.
I'm telling you.
What would y'all get if you have enough to get one corrective surgery now?
A tail.
Dude, imagine if I had like balls hanging off my elbows like a sack.
Yeah.
And so I'm leaning back with my head, my hands up, my head
Like you're
resting.
doing
I get
now,
my
pretzel style.
or balls out of my armpits. That'd be a power move. It's
I don't want any
I'm
more
gonna-
balls. I don't want any more balls. In
Well,
your armpit, you can't even put your arms down.
Yeah, you can.
You just squish your balls. Oh, dude, you would smell so bad if you had balls in your
That's what
arm.
I'm saying. It's a power move. I want more testosterone. I need to be more powerful.
Ugh.
What would you get?
I'm trying to think.
A friend. I'd get an extra head. I could talk to me and be my friend.
What would he be like? This extra head on the side.
I don't
of your
know.
buddy?
That's the exciting part. You never know what you're gonna get. I'd probably put him on my back.
Is he the horny guy? He's like,
He's the
hey, I'm
horny
trying
guy.
to get laid here. You just have this annoying, horny friend on your shoulder.
Just on my neck. I'd do
I would like
wings,
to
even if they didn't work.
I would like to know
Ladies.
if that opening rap that the one dude had might actually work. Like if you could walk up to a lady and go, "Listen, we're both grown people. Why don't we just cut through all the bullshit and do
first
what
he hits
we
it-
want to do?"
First, he hits it with the it's a
That does
it's a
work.
brilliant pickup line. He hits it with the goofy hi, my name is this. I'm a Sagittarius,
Yeah,
and I like long walks on the beach. And this,
yeah,
you know what? We're both mature people.
yeah.
Why don't we just cut to the mature people part? I'm a mature person. You're a mature person. Have you ever heard a mature person say, "I'm a mature person"?
I don't know any mature people, so I don't.
Abraham Lincoln said that famously.
Yeah,
And he got look what happened to him. He got shot in the head.
That kind of works with when I was on Tinder. I used to just be like, hey, like maybe let's just get a drink. Why talk? on this
Maybe
stupid
let's
app?
just get a drink. Oh yeah.
All right. And then they just
No,
give
I
you-
hate it.
and then like
yeah.
half the time they'll just go like, okay, here's my number. Let's speed up. And then you're like, okay.
I would love to have one of those back to the phone dating.
I think it would be great to roll up. I think it, Ryan. I'm gonna pick
You
a
wanna
girl
start it
out,
up?
and you go, and you go talk to her. I'll have an
You can
earpiece
pick
in
a
your
girl. You're
ear.
gonna pick a girl out from where? You got like just a barn full of girls?
I mean, it's not a
Fuck.
barn. It's actually it's like a metal can, the shipping container.
Canister.
You gonna buy me a girl?
I'm gonna rent you one.
They're all chopped up like tuna in this can. It's
They're
like one
they're-
girl. And you're like, wow, I gotta buy this. You take it home and you open it, it's just like pieces of meat. You're like, oh
Gross.
this is
I
gross,
should have read the ingredients.
dude.
metaphorical
Jerk off on it
pieces
and
of
walk
meat.
out the room.
Metaphorically, they're still alive. They
Now
don't
they make
speak
movies
English.
they make movies now where girls are like trying to lose their virginity, like cock blockers. They're like, we're gonna lose our virginity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cock
we're cock blockers. Or then Booksmart, they're like, we're girls and we want to get laid on prom night, and one's like a lesbian. They've gone
I mean
woke.
that would be
kid.
hard.
People the movies have gone woke, and
Let's go back
I'm
to
just-
sleep.
I'm sick of it. Yeah, let's go back to sleep.
I'm-
Let's close
I'm
our
hitting-
eyes.
You know what? I'm hitting snooze on this one. Give me another 10
I'm
minutes.
not woke.
It's just every single one of these movies. It's all about pronouns. It's just, why don't they just call it Pronoun the Movie? I mean, come on.
We should write pronoun the movie. And it's
That
just
would be
everybody
good.
going, hey. And they go, actually, it's hi. And they're like, yo. There's no dialogue because everything is like, actually, I prefer if you said hi instead
Yeah.
of hey. or hello instead of, and it's just that back and forth forever.
It's
Yeah,
you know,
well, I'm a good day kind of guy.
yeah.
I know that's not a pronoun, but that's the dialogue.
My pronouns are I, don't, and no.
my pronoun is I
And no.
am gay. Okay, I'm a gay guy, not a pronoun
I'd say
guy.
my pronoun is cool cool man, and I'd say my negative noun is dummy boy.
My pronoun is
Wow,
my pronouns are
So
that's
let's
beautiful.
be friends. I just want to make a friend.
I'd say my middle of the ground noun middle of the road noun is you're okay, man.
My adverbs are ly, ish, and just a regular y.
Yeah, you want to know my pronouns? Okay, it's a gay guy.
My pronouns are gay guy, my amateur nouns are homo man, and my novice nouns are
My student nouns.
wait, what's a
Pronouns
noun?
more like hoedowns. Yo, what's a noun?
Whenever anybody goes
Dog.
hey, my name is Trace, my pronouns are he she. I'll be like, bro, I don't what is this, a Mad Libs? I don't know what the fuck a noun is. Get out of here, you old dirty dog. Let's get a drink. Never works. I always get in trouble.
Doesn't ever work.
Mm-mm.
I'm lucky I don't know any non-binary people, so I don't have to remember.
Oh, like Jim Carrey, you can't see a reflection or what?
I'm just like, I don't
Got
know
your ass.
anyone.
That's the new calling somebody gay.
Burn.
Oh, dude, I bet you're non-binary.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be if they're like non-binaries in the shower. Non-binary alert in the shower.
Genderqueer.
Genderqueer alert in the shower.
Oh, looks like
They're
somebody's
like
fucking
actually kind of
genderqueer.
being like,
Yeah.
oh Lord. So Cassandra's not even coming, huh?
Nah. she's a
Typical
real-
typical woman, never coming.
You
Three
know, that's
guys
not a
coming
problem
first.
for is Lauren Hutton is a vampire. She loves to fuck.
Do the nasty.
She gets paid
what
to
happens
do
at
it.
the end? They all
do
just
the
fuck her.
nasty.
All the vampires, all those dudes and chicks, they just have one big orge.
What are you talking about? She got old.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if it had worked, was that the plan? They were all gonna fuck.
No,
Make
they're
it-
just
Yeah.
gonna
she's
live
making
another
jokes.
another year. Every year she has to like do this 3 times. And
But
she
she had
waited
3
till the week
virgins.
before. It didn't make sense.
Those other guys are virgins.
It makes sense. Also,
Yeah, the other
probably not that hard.
vampires-
Just go to like if you're that desperate, like I do some
Look at
Epstein
that
shit.
guy.
Like go to a fucking get a baby.
Star Trek convention.
Steal
Said
somebody's
she-
baby. You
Were
know,
the
like,
that was
were
sick.
Star
the-
Trek convention.
were the girl vampires? Were they girls that she had to lady fuck virgin
Coitus?
guys?
Yeah, she finger banged them and they became vampires.
Huh.
With those
Yeah,
nails?
yeah, she bi. She should have fucked his girlfriend, Robin, the hot chick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's our ratings? I give it 2 stars. It's not a good movie for an adult to watch. This is for 12 and under. If you're a 12-year-old and under, this is a good movie for you. But
Great.
I can't
I'd
I
say
can't
closer to
recommend
13.
In the 80s.
any adults watch this movie.
There's
Unless
no
you
reason
really
to.
love Jim Carrey. You like
I mean, if
obsessed
you're
with Jim Carrey.
if you haven't seen it, watch it. If you're a Jim Carrey guy, but there's no reason really.
I'm gonna rate it a little bit higher, but like I said before, I think that's mostly nostalgia related, is because
Oh yeah.
I have it really I loved it as a kid, and admittedly I'm right there with you where it's not a great movie, but because it reminded me of being a young, horny man without a lot of options to watch.
Oh yeah,
As a little kid too, it's kind of horny, but you're still allowed to watch it. It's kind of funny, and it had lots of, made me. That was kind of like a thing of like, L.A. looks like an awesome place. You can go and get horned up by vampires. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars.
boom.
Oh, okay.
Bags of popcorn.
I'm gonna sit there right in the middle at 3 probably. It's not hard to watch. It wasn't difficult.
One thing
It
this
wasn't
movie made
like
me
I'm not
think
gonna
about.
rewatch it. It was interesting to see Jim Carrey like now, like knowing him now, and then watching
Yeah.
him be a little young. Obviously, he like is
He's
he should have had more gusto. Like his character should they had him as the straight guy.
Yeah, it was very much like he was just an actor.
He should have carried
He was
the
a he was
humor, and they
a
fucked
blank
up.
vessel hired for the job, and not Jim Carrey at all hired for the
Exactly.
job.
Yeah.
He's playing the straight man,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
which is awkward for
And-
him because he wants to be weird and do his weird.
Well,
Jim
the other
Carrey shit.
the other two guys are supposed to be the funny ones, and they just weren't at all. And it's like you have this
No.
massive talent here. He was underutilized, so 3. 3 because I like Jim Carrey.
One thing this movie made me remember though was the desperation and obsession I had with losing my virginity. Like when I was
It
when
got
I was
weird.
a teenager
It got
and
weird
younger,
I
I remember thinking like when
Oh,
I would read
gotta
an
pee.
article about a kid who died, I'd be like, oh man, that kid died a virgin. Oh man,
yeah.
that sucks, dude. I hope
I
don't die a
really,
virgin.
I was really like it was like some very difficult test you're gonna have to take when you like grew in a couple years. That was my idea of it. Like it was gonna be like this is gonna be like the SATs. It's gonna be really really hard to get in there. It's gonna be. I remember being very worried about it quite a bit.
Yeah, you have no control and you think you're gonna die because you're a teenager and you're like so dramatic and you think like, what
Yeah.
if I die? What if, oh man, this is your emotions are overwhelming you. You can't like, you have no experience, no life experience. You don't know what the fuck to think, what to expect. So you're just like, how do I do this? And like, it's weird how also you go to this high school with all the people you went to middle school with, and then you've known everyone so long.
Yeah.
It makes it really hard to date
I
because you're
remember.
friends with people for like years now. You're like, I've known this
Yeah.
person since they were 11 or 12. And
Yeah.
now,
Yeah, I
what do I do?
remember, this movie and other movies like it, being like, whatever, 10, 11, 12, 13, and thinking like, man, everybody's making fun of the idea that this guy is 18 and still a virgin, like, and wondering, well, what is the age that I have to get this done by?
It's when you're ready, Mike.
Well, that's just what the movie posits, but I'm more of I'm more of one of the horny best friends. I'm not a leading man. I'm a horny best friend type situation. I need to know. I need
You're a horn
hours.
dog.
I need days. I need to. I definitely remember like thinking like, fuck.
How old were you? I was 19. I was 18. 18 or 19.
I was 17, but I was a senior.
I was out of high school. I didn't have sex in
I was
high
out of-
school.
I was out of high school too. So I think like the year I got out of high school.
And everybody that I know, like that were constantly hooking up, and that the peer pressure, the people, they weren't like putting peer pressure, but it's like, oh, did you hear Jack and Jill have been hooking up? Yeah, they've been dating for like since middle school. So yeah, they're probably.
They fucked on this hill next.
And
So there's always those couples.
and then I was like, well, it means I should be. And now all of those people have kids and like stable jobs, but they're like divorced.
Yeah.
Weird.
Damn. You can't imagine marrying someone from middle school.
It's
hard to
That's
see.
weird, man.
It's
Like
crazy.
that mean how many people in your life do you think you've met?
2 million.
7.
These like
Exactly.
just moving out of Nebraska like probably doubled that. Doing comedy quadrupled that. I have friends
Just being on
from
an airplane.
I have friends from elementary school who never left Lincoln.
Yeah.
They've probably only met like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
They're probably
Not
really
that
happy.
matters. It's just weird. They're probably
Yeah,
way
yeah.
happier than me.
Most people are than you.
Yeah, but what happens though if what if the 1,001 is like the coolest person you've ever met?
No, I agree. It is.
I still haven't
do.
met. I still haven't met the coolest person yet. I only
Ryan,
pretty
no,
much
you're-
know
no, it's me.
scumbags and cowards.
Well,
is
and then
basically
you're like-
all of my friends.
And then there's 2
like
guys that are real
Forrest
fucking
Gump.
cool that you know that you're talking to that are real cool.
I was called a stray cat once by Andrew Dismukes.
Stray
And-
cat.
Yeah, I showed up because they live down the street from me. That's like who Andrew and Allie and
Mhm.
Ian and Elizabeth in LA when I lived in LA. And I was the fifth wheel, this double couple situation.
Why
And I
don't you
walked
settle
in
down
once
and get a nice girl.
Yeah.
because I can't settle down, baby. This dust don't settle. I'm constantly in flux. I got acid reflux. I've got heartburn. I'm constantly fluxed. No, I'm
Wow.
dating. I'm dating right now. Somebody.
It's great.
Tell us-
Congratulations.
Tell us their name and to give us their phone number.
Liqueur and I'm dating liquor.
Okay.
And Roach.
I'm eating
Little ro-
roaches.
So
Dating,
tell us, you're the fifth wheel. You go to dispute.
no, so I walk in and they go, you're like a stray cat. And they thought I was gonna be upset about that. And I was like, that sounds tight.
You're like an alley cat. You're just like fucking in the alley, like ah.
Ow. Have you
You're
heard
just, like,
that?
horny.
Woo!
Got
It's
like blood.
ghostly.
And you got like your ear bitten off. You're like, no, it's cool. I'm a stray cat. Eating tuna fish.
Their
Can
ears
of-
are clipped. Their ears are clipped because they were spayed and neutered. They were tagged. Then you clip their ear.
Tagged and bagged.
You know, if it's a
I'm
bite mark.
gonna get my ears clipped. for
I'm gonna
that.
get my wiener clipped.
It's
Goodbye
called
condoms.
Circumcised.
That'd
I'm
be
just
cool.
gonna cut it off. No eunuch. I'm going full eunuch.
Eunuch.
No dick, no balls.
No D, no B. Let's see if they can put the balls in my pits. One in each pit.
Like a gypsy dancer.
Call me
With
ball
your belt.
pit.
Ball pit.
What about a ball pit of just balls? Of just
That would be great
sacks?
if Brad Pitt named a kid named his kid Ball.
Ball. Ball pit. Ball pit. The grossest thing at a Chuck E. Cheese. The ball pit.
Just wet and smelly.
Oh,
It'd probably be nicer than the real ball pit, huh?
hmm
All right, guys. Well, that's the end of this episode. So,
Damn. What
well-
happened to Cassandra?
Cassandra's is a no-show. She blew it. She watched the
Oh.
movie too. She said she liked it and thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Follow Mike Wiebe on Twitter. Follow Ryan
Yes,
County on
please. And I have
Twitter.
a podcast called International News Service.
Oh, that's
Listen
a
to
fun
that
one.
podcast.
It's silly.
It's a fun one.
Wait,
What
hold on.
else?
Is it real? Is it just news? You just like BBC
Yeah, we
News
just
with Mike
yeah,
Wiebe?
it's just weird news stories, and then we kind of make fun of them.
He goes, you go. No, it's serious news. You go.
It's just
You
yeah,
hear
it's
about
straight
this
up.
Ukraine Russian thing going on here?
I go,
What's going
I'm
on?
up
That's
there
pretty
going like,
crazy,
we're fucking
guys.
shooting balloons down.
Dude, those aren't balloons. Those are aliens.
Could be,
Trust me.
or giants from the middle of the earth.
Anything.
Or-
It could be anything, Ryan. Giants from the middle of the earth. Wow. in the
That's
air.
my new band.
Floating,
I think it's-
floating,
I
floating
think it's,
around.
I think it's sky jellyfish.
I think it's
Hey,
nope.
I think I never saw that.
Oh man,
Mm.
there's a giant from the middle of the earth floating around this in the sky.
Shape shifting giant from the middle of the earth that turned into a Chinese weather balloon.
Ooh, it might be a nope.
All right, well,
All right. Well, that's that.
that's that. Once
done it.
bitten, everybody.
You
We'll
won't feel
watch
no
it. What's
pain.
the moral? What's the moral? Did we do a moral? Let's do a quick moral.
The moral is just lose your virginity with anyone and anything as
Yeah,
fast as you can.
just
Don't
get
make
laid.
it
It's-
special.
Go to
Don't make
Hollywood.
it special.
I
Fuck
didn't.
that
That's how
dude in
I
the
did it.
dress. You're the horny
Fuck the
guy. Fuck
dress
the dude in
man.
the dress.
Probably could teach you something.
Get
Trans-
A
laid.
guy in a
Beautiful.
dress could probably teach you more than you know. So go for
Yeah.
it. That's my moral.
If he would have had sex with, if Jim Carrey would have had sex with that person, do you think that would, like, would a hand job?
It depends on the hand, how rough it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. What if he fucks a girl in the ass? Is he
Shape
still
and
a
size don't
virgin?
matter.
yeah. I wonder if that counts.
This is vampire magic. You know, her life is on the line. So these rules.
You know
gotta
what the
figure out
moral
these
is? Fucking parents, be honest and open about sex with your kids earlier than you did. I never got to talk. I never got to speech. It was a nightmare trying to figure it out on my own. Still
Mhm.
haven't figured it out. The one thing I know
Same.
is like women coming is fake, and
Mhm.
I've done a lot of field research, and not
Mhm.
a single woman I've had sex with has climaxed. So I believe that they can't. So
Have they lied to you and tell you that they
and
could?
I wish I would have known that. No.
What do they
Everybody's
say?
been so all open and honest. That's another thing my parents never told me, that women are open and honest. My dad used to say they're just all lying sacks of shit.
Mhm.
Wow.
So talk to your kids, about like earlier on so they don't grow up to be vampires.
This is why Ryan doesn't go home.
Yeah.
It's-
This is why he's a alley cat.
We
you know,
never. It's weird to have a vampire movie that dealing with the sun never came up at all, right?
kind of. It was just annoying.
He wore
to him.
sunglasses.
Yeah. He
And
was
none of
a
the
little
other
bright in here.
vampires, like there was never a. It's rare for
No.
not one vampire got killed in this entire movie either.
Nope.
My theory that Ryan's
Nobody
turning
did.
is going to turn to Bill Hicks is becoming more and more true. I mean, he's dressed like Bill Hicks at this
Well,
point.
he's a truth teller.
I'm not
Yeah.
dressed like Bill Hicks.
You're
This
mad
is
about
my
it.
gotta be-
normal clothes.
Got this like trench coat, beard.
I'm not gonna win this
Sunglasses.
costume card party contest as Bill Hicks. This is my normal
At first,
clothes.
I was like, he looks like Dennis Leary, but then I was like, oh wait, Dennis Leary and Bill Hicks basically.
I'm
look
just
the
eating
same.
sunflower seeds this whole time too. That feels like a Dennis Leary move.
Dennis Leary, another comedian in a lot of weird movie cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Demolition
thief.
Man.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
stole his career from other people, and I can't figure out how to do it. I've been trying to steal my friend's bits, and
You steal the
I-
jokes
like
from the worst comedians.
I just am blowing it.
Yeah. So you keep.
I got some headway going, and I had about an hour and a half act that I had stolen, and then fucking Bill Cosby went and got arrested.
I'm the
Yeah,
alt
I know
comedy
you. I
joke.
know
So
you were
there you
taking
go.
up
I can't do his bits anymore.
all Jim Brewer's vaccination jokes. Are you still
No,
doing those?
I'm the alt
Yeah, oh my
comedy
god,
joke
I brought
thief.
those back.
I
Alt
still
comedy,
I steal Dimitri Martin's like notebook or whatever
Paper.
the fuck
you know,
paper shit.
that's alternative comedy.
I
That's
guess.
alternative to comedy, I guess. Yeah.
Ooh,
I still
Got
Ryan
his
jokes.
ass. I loved him.
shots fired.
All right, that's it. It's over. The show's over. Don't